Hi, I'm Mike Morales here in San Antonio. You're watching Sipping Off the Cuff, a special tequila tryout show, and that gentleman sitting on that side is
My name is Phil. I live in Southend-on-Sea, Essex, in the UK.
ah
Beautiful sunny weather.
in the UK. All right, so and
Yeah.
for those of us who are uh, uh, brogue impaired, we'll have subtitles underneath for
It's my
everybody.
extra bag.
Yeah. So why did you want to throw your hat in the ring, man? Why did you want to just
Why tequila and why this?
yeah.
Um, I've been drinking tequila. I mean, I'm 43. I've been drinking it since I could get in a pub. And over the years, you try everything's always the mixers, aren't they? There's sort of like the really bad tequilas, and in the pubs, all you can get over here anyway, the Sierras ones with the little plastic caps or
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah.
And you always have it at the end of the night, and everyone says, "Oh, tequila that killed me last night." And you think, well, you had it last. It's the last thing you drink. You try drinking it during the course of the day or during the course of the night. And as I got older, the tastes get a little bit more refined. You earn a bit more money, then you sort of start looking. And out of all the spirits, that was the one. It just sort of like it took hold of me.
Yeah, it does. It captures you, by the shirt collar and
Yeah. So, and the things there's so many different brands about that each one is so uniquely different, and each one probably has two or three different types of itself. Obviously you've got the blancos, the añejos, the reposados. So you can have you can really enjoy a blanco, but maybe not like a reposado, the same distillery from the same company. So it's always something new. You can never really settle. I mean, there are tequilas that I do like, but then I'll find another one and go, oh, but do I like that one more or less? It's just this whole kind of like adventure in trying to maintain sobriety in the face
yeah.
of all this like, alcohol. So
Well,
yeah,
people always ask me what's your favorite tequila, and I always tell them it's my next one. Yeah,
yeah. Well, I'll go with that.
yeah, because
Uh,
you never know who's gonna be knocking on my door, leaving deliveries, and we constantly solicit new brands, and that's really why we're holding the tryouts, because we really do need more pallets.
yeah,
It's just we're being inundated in between Alex and myself, or Rick and myself. We want to be able to cover everybody in a timely manner, because sometimes with Alex, there's a 2 hour difference between where I live and then where he lives in California,
yeah.
and we're tasting like 9 of these a night. So you can't really taste them. You got to spit them out, and
No.
and so it actually is work. People think that we're just sitting around drinking tequila, but it's not like that. It really is dissecting it and breaking it down. So tonight you're gonna dissect. You're gonna take me through which tequila or mezcal.
Well, it's a tequila, and I've got it here. I've not actually drank it as yet to give a taste, but it's the Espolon.
Oh, good deal, excellent.
So,
And
Solo.
is that the Repo or the Añejo? That's the Repo,
That's
isn't
the
it?
pepper. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Got this a couple of months ago. I've already had a bit of it, but I've got some notes here for it. I found it's the nom is the 1440,
Mm-hmm.
which is St Nicholas Distillery.
Yes,
Which
I've been there twice. Show me
have
the
you
bottle.
really?
Show me the bottle. Let's give them some nice product placement. Yeah, look at that. I love it when they retooled when Campari bought the brand and they retooled the whole label and the bottle and all that. They really did some great stuff with the artwork.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's Posada. Is it Posada the artist? They're trying to mimic on that. They've done the old Caballero Cantina or Catrina, the
Yeah,
old Mexican sort of Day of the Dead. They're trying to mimic that, aren't they, with it? So usually I don't go for like the cartoony looking covers for things, but that one came up anyway, and I thought there was just something about it that captured it for me.
well, the artwork is based on actual artwork that exists in Mexico. So it's kind of like their homage to this artist. So
Yeah,
they try to stay really true to that, and I thought that was a really great way to retool the brand. And Campari's done a great job as far as I'm concerned. They bought the distillery, they bought the brand, they got rid of Cabo Wabo, which was, well, actually they brought Cabo Wabo in there. Now
yeah,
it's being made at the same distillery, and I've been there twice. And their master distiller, they kept him. So I think they've done a really great job personally. So, but this is a new drink for you, right? It's a new sipper for you.
I've not had anything like these before, so this is literally the first and only bottle that I've got
Okay. All right.
of
Well,
it. So
pour what kind of glass are you going to use tonight?
I'm using one of these at the moment.
Okay. And that
Like a
is
Scotch-
wow. Okay.
It's like a Scotch glass. I've actually
Yeah,
got
yeah.
a little Caballito to drink from usually, but you can't really get. That's just kind of like knocking it back, and it's just like, well, if I want to do this, I don't want to just be, going for it. So
Yeah. Well, we use we love the Glencairn glasses, and looks like a similar type of glass. This one's a what they call a Canadian blend whiskey glass. So you're looking for you're going to use a glass that you can actually nose
Yeah.
with a lot more nose and mouth feel. What kind of color do you get from that Reposado?
Well, it's quite strawy, very light straw. I think it was aged. It's like 6 months in American oak,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not too sure what the smell. It's very. I think you can smell the agave for it,
Mm-hmm.
and a kind of very much of spice with it as well. But see, with that feels like it misses the back of the tongue. It just falls down either side of it. Not as floral as it smells, but the peppers there's quite a nice little burn.
So you got a nice finish on the end of that, huh?
Yeah, it's quite light actually. As it's going down now, like the tip of the tongue's feeling quite light and airy.
Mm-hmm.
With it.
So it goes in rather sweet and has a nice long, medium to short finish on the end, huh?
Yeah, it's quite smooth. So I imagine the añejo is going to be almost like drinking air. It's that smooth with it. I mean, I've only had, well, I'll say there's half a bottle there left.
You keep your bottles at room temp, don't you? At room
Yeah,
temperature?
they stay in the kitchen.
Okay,
Or
okay.
they've got their little shelf in the kitchen, so there's. No, someone said to me, "Why don't you put them in the fridge?" I was like, "No."
Yeah, no. You could, and here in the United States, and I'm sure whenever you visited, if you go to a place where it's really warm, like Las Vegas, or even here in Texas, during the summertime when they have these events, a lot of brands will have to put it on ice because it's just there's no other way to transport it in the trunk of your car. By the time you pour it in somebody, it's already it's hot. Even when we get deliveries here, I gotta let them sit for at least a day just to cool off because you unwrap them from all the foam and the boxes and it's like being insulated, and so that that it really retains the heat almost. And even then, when you open it, it's still gonna, you're gonna get that alcohol thing. So I let it sit, in my kitchen for at least a day or two, just for my own safety, because I never know, what I'm gonna get when I pop one open.
Saying that on the other side, there's a pub. I saw they had some of the car tequila, the ones that in the skull bottles, the clay bottles.
Yeah.
They had a blanco of that. So I thought, I've got the añejo. I thought I'll try the blanco, and they got the glasses straight out of the washing machine. So I had a warm glass with the tequila in.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I've taken a sip, but it's just like, oh, what have you done? I said, what's wrong? What's the matter? It's like, God,
Yeah.
you're giving me a warm glass.
It
Yeah.
is. Glassware, it really is important, the type of glassware that you're using. We've done glassware videos before about, I don't know how readily available they are in the UK, but we use, Riedel is the official
Yes.
tequila glass. Can you get them there? Are they available to you?
Yeah, I was looking at some the other day. I think it was about £20 for two
Yeah.
for them. So they're a bit of money for glass, but if that's what you've got to pay, isn't it? That's what you want. That's what
Well,
where it goes, isn't it?
Yeah. I know that I was lucky enough to be able to acquire a whole bunch of these on through Amazon or what was it, eBay, I think.
Yeah.
And I have them in storage. And I was just talking to another guy who auditioned just before you, and he breaks them like I break them when you're washing them. You don't break them when you're drinking. You always when you're hand washing them, and then you break them on the stem usually. So they break easily. What we've done though, I'm really enamored by the Glencairn. I think
Yeah.
for the price and for what they accomplish, they honestly, I think with tequila now, I think it's graduated. It needs more glassware instead of just that one.
Yeah. Because with
So
over here as well, be it in England, I don't know if anyone is English is going to be watching this. There's a very big drinking culture, so you go out and you just drink, blah, blah, blah. But so when it comes to spirits, the glassware is kind of like whatever it goes in.
yeah, whiskey and whiskey, right? And champagne in a champagne glass. But that's just it. Tequila, the Riedel glass is supposedly the official glass of tequila, but this was a sponsored project by Casa Noble years and years ago.
Yeah.
But a lot of tequileros nowadays, I think because of the terroir and how we've in the last 10 years of you want to know what a Highlands tequila tastes like and a Lowlands tequila tastes like, and then there's some controversy with that also. But a lot of tequileros feel that the glass tequila needs to have more glassware for different microclimates because that's how Riedel does all their wine glasses and spirits glasses. If you look through a Riedel catalog, you have they make a glass for every wine and spirit you can think of. But there's only one for tequila, and a lot of people feel that they didn't give it as much respect as it deserves now. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, I didn't realise how specific it was. I went to the Tequila Mezcal Fest in London a few weeks ago.
How was it?
It was fantastic, but the trouble there being you have a wristband with 10 tabs on, so you can try 10 different, and everyone they don't care whether you give them a tab or not, some of them, and sort of like it gets to about 4 o'clock. And you're going, I don't think which was your favourite one? You go, it's the one I just had.
Yeah.
It was literally like that. But the one that really stood out was Ericina. Tequila? Or Hericina.
Oh, Herencia.
Herencia,
Yes.
sorry, yeah. Bad memory. And the Blanco I wasn't too keen on. I thought, that's nice. But the Reposado, I was stunned with it. I bought a bottle of it right there and then. And it's so nice. And I gave it a couple of weeks. I was saying to my wife, she's going, "You're going to open that?" I said, "Well, we're a bit tipsy by then, so I might be disappointed." And no, it's like, do you have cream soda?
Wow.
It reminded me.
So it's very creamy then.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. But I thought it was because I'd had one or two too many. So I was imagining it 2 weeks ahead. No, that was right. But there was a couple of mezcal stalls there, and they were doing mezcal from specific regions of the farm. Like this is from that field, and this is from that field. It's absolutely fantastic. The way the different tastes from a field that's up 500 feet higher than that one.
Yeah.
I mean, you get it with the highlands and the lowlands anyway with the tequila. One's a lot more earthy, isn't it? So.
Well, like I said, there's a lot of controversy with that right now because there's no official designation for Highlands and Lowlands, not like there is with Scotch. So, and now with distilleries being a lot of them want to be in the Highlands, Totonilco and that area where they make Don Julio, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's where they get the agave from. Unless it's an estate grown. If it's estate grown. Then, like for instance, with the Espolón, San Nicolás, they have their own fields. It's right outside the front door. You literally walk out the big wooden doors of San Nicolás, and there's the agave fields, and it's huge. But when you mass produce like they are now, when Campari bought it, you have to buy from other growers. So I guess what I'm getting at is the difference now between what you get with Herencia being probably a small batch tequila versus Espolón, where you're kind of getting the kind of a flavor for the masses. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
It didn't used to be that way. Espolón, when we first met the master distiller, he he walked us through and it's a wonderful distillery. I mean, huge stainless steel tanks and just very well put together. I mean, he's an engineer, the master distiller, and he would tell us that they would age the reposado in virgin barrels first, and then when they pulled it out, they would age the añejo in that used barrel, so it stays in there longer. So it was really weird because at the time the bottles were longer. You might remember if you remember some of the older bottles of Espolón, they had like foil labels on the front, and if you took the añejo and the reposado side by side, they were almost the same color.
Right.
Yeah, and he told us that's the reason why that they would rest the repo first. So the repo had more of that oaky flavor versus the añejo.
Well, that was the distiller that got as a Oropesa.
Yes,
I was reading
that's the one.
Even reading with him that he came to the idea that he'd take after the reposado, he'll put them in wild turkey barrels.
Oh yeah, it could be.
So
yeah, when we met him at the time, we weren't as versed on tequila as we are now. I mean, that was the largest. That whole meeting with him was probably the largest blind date of 35 different people from all over the U.S. who came together and said, let's just do this. Nobody had ever done trips before. They weren't not like they are now. And so it was a brand new thing, and we were learning as we were going. So, yeah, it could be wild turkey. I'm not even sure what he's using now. I would imagine he'd be able to get barrels from Campari,
Oh yeah, they've got a lot. But also, he said he was playing music to it. He said you could see the youth dance. But one thing I read, an interview with him was saying he played classical music.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one on, say, the Espolón website was saying it was rock music. So I was thinking,
no.
If they've got Cabu Wabu there, it's going to be Van Halen, isn't it? So
that's not true. Actually, he is a student of a couple of master distillers who developed what I call the Mozart method, and that's playing classical music as it ferments. And in fact, I think I may have read the same article you did, but having been there, he told us the same story that the workers, the women who hear the music in the factory say, oh, the tequila's dancing, because the giant tanks are stainless steel. And so the theory is that the vibrations of the music against the stainless steel allows the yeast to do its work, so they produce more. They get more production out of it. I'm in the middle of actually interviewing these two engineers who developed this process. And I know that they still use it, but it's not rock music.
I think that's going to be a bit much, isn't it?
Yeah. No, when they did the studies, because I have interviewed both of them separately, and I'm just waiting for some answers on some of my questions before I publish that. But they have samples of Beatles music, tequila, and rock music, tequila, and heavy metal, and they have samples of all of those. It's crazy, but what they discovered was that it was the Baroque / classical music that produced the better tasting tequila. And I know that in NOM 1414, where I've been there also, that all their tequilas are made that way. That's where you get Siembra Azul, or they get Gran Ovejo, or Viva Mexico. I don't know if you had any of those, or Muchote. And I spoke to the plant manager there, and he told me, he said, I'm a very practical guy. I didn't even care, he says, but I did the numbers, and when we play the music, we produce more tequila than when we don't. So for him, the bottom line is there's more production.
What's the result? There's a bottom line, and that's what you've got to chase, isn't it? So
yeah.
It's working.
When you're a numbers guy. So Felipe, tell me what's the takeaway with Espolón? You tell me, and anyone else who's watching you, maybe in the UK or in other countries. We get hits from, you name it, from Mexico to the Philippines. So anybody who's not had that tequila, and don't be afraid to show that bottle. Show me the bottle again. What's the takeaway? What's the thing that the one thing you want to let people know about Espolón and the Reposado in particular?
Well, the main thing ultimately was the price. It's in the UK. The price of that was pretty reasonable. I think it's about £30.
Okay.
Give or take a few pennies. For that kind of quality taste as well, it's a very easy drink. You can have a few and not have to worry too much about, especially over here. People, a few friends of mine are getting more into tequilas, and they say to me, which one should we have? And it's like you go for the 100% agave, obviously, always, as a thumb. But that is for just if someone wants just want a smoother tasting one, as opposed to being used to just having blancos all the time. Because blancos can be harsh on the palate, can't they? Because they're so fresh, out of the bottle. So that I reckon it's a pretty top one. I quite like it, and there's a lot of history with it as well. I mean, it's considered a quality one, isn't it? So Highlands, so it's going to be more floral, so it's going to be easier on the palate. But we're saying the difference between the Highlands and the Lowlands. But I mean, you can tell the difference. I mean, I've got low tequilas and now a bit more. I find them a bit more earthy, a bit more grit in the taste.
Yeah. For
it, so it's a very good opener for a lot more tequilas. That's how I say it. It's a gateway. It's a gateway bottle of tequila.
Here you go.
Gateway tequila.
There you go. Good choice. Well, Phil, thank you very much for taking the time to walk us through Espolón. It was nice to talk to you, and I know that we follow each other, I think, on Twitter, and every so often you've got a picture of a good cigar to go with it. Would you pair that with a cigar, by the way?
Well, this is my ultimate thing at the moment is to try and find a good tequila with a cigar, and I've not really had much luck. Ramonolones, small club Corona with a Casa Noble Añejo, that worked. That was really nice. But I'm finding it's the Lowlands, the more body ones that work with it, because the Highlands ones, when they're more light and more fruity, what happens, it will be either drowned out by the smoke or it will drown the smoke out. They fight each other. So I got a bottle of mezcal. I can't think the name of La Compañera. I think it's quite a brand over here anyway. And I had that with this Monte Cristo Double Edmondo. So it's a nice, big, thick, fat, long cigar. I had it, and I just everything just had to stop. I was sitting in the garden and went, "Oh, that's it. Just that's the pairing. Have a cigar, but have something that's got a bit more of a smoke on the float. And it really brings it out. I mean, you don't put butter on a ice cream, do you?
Right. On a hot dog or something, right?
Yeah, it's like that. It's just I'm trying to find the pairing. So I might start delving into some more mezcals actually, or just concentrate on Lowlands. Try and find some more Lowland tequilas for it.
That's see, that's going to open up a few more things that we don't have the time to cover right now. But anyway, that's Philip's, and I call him Felipe because I guess on Twitter you're Felipe, but whatever works.
He's right though. My name's Phil, but I've been called Felipe for years. So.
Oh, there you go. Well, my name is Miguel, but I've been Mike since high school. So anyway. That's Felipe's take on Espolón Reposado. This is Mike Morales here in San Antonio. That gentleman right there is in the UK. Yep, Espolón right there. And as we like to say here, thanks for joining us, by the way, on our Tequila tryouts. And as we like to say at Tequila Aficionado,